Now, today is Constitution Day. It is the day when we celebrate that we have a constitution in this country. And very many of us who are represented in this room today were not granted the right to vote in that constitution that was written at the end of the 18th century in this country, and we keep cranking up improvements on that constitution. Quite recently, we had a contest at Mills College and our Women's Leadership Institute for rewriting the Constitution. But what I can say with absolute assurance is that we, the members of the Mills College community, keep rewriting history. But we are well aware that this is a difficult and challenging time. At the same time, I also worry that in this country, we keep hearing economists and experts and folks talking about money as if it were separate from everything else that goes on in the world. We at Mills College know that education is the only assurance in times of economic prosperity and in times of economic recession. As many of you know, we have a strategic plan at Mills College that was ratified by the Board of Trustees in May 2008, none too soon, because it runs from 2008 to 2013. It's a 5-year strategic plan. It's intended to guide all of the work that we do, and it's intended to move us forward in our highest goals and with our community on a single page. We are committed first and foremost to academic excellence and education for leadership. Second goal for Mills College. The first one is academic excellence, education for leadership. The second one is educational access and diversity. But also that Mills believes in those students in a way that allows us to provide financial support for those students as undergraduate and graduate students. No, we are not Stanford. No, we are not Harvard. We cannot pay the full freight for all of our students. I wish we could, because every one of our students comes to us with some form of need. But we are doing our darndest to put together the strongest possible packages and to continue to raise funds for our students in order that they can make real progress in their educational experiences. Number three is our goal for environmental and fiscal sustainability. To be able to leave some land, some money, some knowledge, some wisdom, some creativity for future generations. It means all of the things about environment that include the air we breathe, the water we drink, but also the way we treat one another and the way we recognize that continuing to offer educational opportunity is an element of sustainability. I'm pleased to say that this fall, Mills has the largest headcount in the history of the college. If you think where we've come from in the last 15 or so years, we've added almost 400 students to our total student body. That means we've added almost 50% to our student body in a relatively short period of time, and we intend to plateau over the next 5 years somewhere between 1,000 and 1,100 undergraduate students. We're a little over 500 graduate students. We intend to plateau at probably around 550, between 550 and 600 graduate students. But what's been really very, very encouraging is that our retention rate from first to second year has gone up to 76% this year from, that is 4 percentage points in the last 2 years. And believe me, every one of those percentage points is a huge amount of work, and it's a huge amount of commitment on the parts of students. We're also looking at, as I mentioned earlier on, very strong diversity in our student body. 34% of our students fit into the traditional classes. represented in students of color. Another 13% identify as bi or multiracial. And we have, again, a strong cohort. About a quarter of our students are resuming students. Those are the students we categorize as over the age of 23. And over a third of our entering students are students, of our total student body, are students who are first generation college students, which is very exciting. Now, many of you know our student who is 93. She was featured in the San Francisco Chronicle recently. Helen, she is an art history major. She is she has a lot of history to tell the faculty as well. And she's a sophomore, so I think Renee was telling me that Renee Odeschlieber, that 95 is the Guinness Book of World Records. Is that right? 94. Wow. We have, in the entering class, 26 mothers, and we think that's about par for the course. We have probably around 10% of our students are parenting, mothering students. Then to take a look at our graduate students, there are 20% of our students, now about 100, who are men who want to be educated in a women-focused environment that is really committed to academic excellence. We have a $62 million operating budget at Mills College. That budget has increased dramatically over the last 15 years, along with many of the other aspects of our campus and campus community. And I'm really glad to see we may be close to a budget in California, because many of our students benefit from Cal grants, and it is unconscionable to think that our legislature would be holding up support for students in every arena because of the political bickering that's been going on in Sacramento. We had a $15 million fundraising goal. We raised $21.5 million. Overachieved. Yes, we overachieved. That was very good. Of course, we want to set a higher goal now, so overachieve a higher goal. It's always important to set a high goal. We're working really hard to make sure that our endowment stays as strong as we can in these difficult and challenging times. Finally, let me say a few words about Mills in the news. Some of you have heard that we've become a new category of institution. We are no longer ranked in U.S. News and World Report simply as a liberal arts college. We are ranked as a master's degree granting university, although we are not a university, we are a college. And among many, many institutions in the West in this category, Mills has moved from being 7th last year to 4th this year. And we're going for #1. So keep your eye on that moving target.